morning, everybody. Welcome to Studio 5. Okay, I want you to picture something right now. We all know that couple, right? The couple that doesn't necessarily do everything perfect, but they just seem to get it right. They have it good.
They do, and today we're going to peek in on the lives of those happy couples and ask, what are those happy couples doing right? Joining us on Studio 5 is relationship coach Matt Townsend. We see those people. We all know them, and we want to have part of that life, but we're not really sure exactly what it is that they do.
Well, they're freaks. Can I say that on KSL?
You just did.
They're so rare. I think you guys are that couple, but not. I mean, you're a television couple. You're like the Huxtables that we'll talk about in a minute.
All the rumors are starting. Thanks a lot, man.
No, but you know what? They do just little tiny things, right? But you know what? The research is now proving little things make a huge difference. Okay? First one, you ready?
Yeah.
These people understand that they have to bring their own sunshine. In a happy couple, happy couples are made up of two people who recognize they're responsible for their happiness, they're responsible for their life. And they don't let their partner's negative days create negative days for them. They keep bringing their own sunshine. And the research shows when you have a partner that doesn't react to everything that you do, to react to every mood you're in, then you actually create a stabilizing force for that partner. We create more predictability when we're both more proactive instead of reactive to each other.
So you're a better team, you're a better partnership when you're individually focusing on your happiness.
Yeah, when you're responsible for your own happiness. Instead of me being totally dependent on my wife to make me happy, I need to learn to be responsible and bring my own sunshine to my life. So
it's almost a little bit of ignoring the other couple, the other person. I mean, if they come home, they're in a bad mood, instead of letting them bring you down, just ignore them, block it out.
You could still go try to recognize it. Hey, hon, you seem down. Do you want to talk about it? No, I'm okay. Okay, well, I'm going to lunch. See you, bye. But it's somebody that just, it's not somebody that just will coddle it and become so dependent that we can't move on in life.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. Think about it.
Any examples of that?
No, not one. Oh, I do, actually. Have you ever heard of the Huxtables?
Don't say that because she is young. She's a young.
You probably don't remember the Huxtables.
I've never seen
but they were.
Show.
Are you kidding? They were America's family.
They were.
But do you remember how she was a little more serious, a little more stoic, and he was just fun. And he would bring the fun every time he could. He'd come in. It didn't matter if she was a little serious. He'd get serious with her, but he was always able to bring his own happiness. And to me, that's a perfect little example. You can have a mood. It just doesn't always have to influence mine.
They were both very independent of each other. I mean, they both had their own sunshine, really.
You have to have two independent people to make interdependent relationships. If not, you have two dependent people, which creates codependency. It's the last thing we need.
Bad.
Right? Number two. You have to see and share the positive about your partner, okay? There's some really interesting research about happy couples that they see the positive and they share it. A guy named John Gottman, who's one of the leading researchers in marriage and family, did a study about how people talk about how they first met. So couples that have been married 6 years, when they describe how they first met, those couples, the researchers could identify with about 80% accuracy if those couples would divorce or not, just based on how they told that story.
What are the clues they pick up?
They tell a lot of, like, if they talk about how it was kind of a mistake, like we were really young when we met, and we didn't really know what we wanted in life. So they're telling all this story that's kind of showing we're not happy now. It was kind of a mistake. If we had thought more about this, we may not be here. Those kind of stories, or if they talk and use the pronouns you, or he, or him, or her, versus I, or we, or us. We were so happy back then. When we first met, we. Those words matter a lot. And every time you say something negative, like we were so poor, we had no money, we lived in a basement apartment, and you know what? It all turned out for good because look at us now. If they could always turn it and spin it positive, then those were couples that were going to be more likely to last.
So when you say sharing the positives about your relationship, do you mean sharing them with each other or with other people?
It could be sharing with each other, sharing with other people. It's how you talk and see your relationship.
Just in general.
If you see it more positively and you talk about it more positively, huge dividends in the relationship.
That could be a great barometer. If you're going out with somebody,
totally ask them.
Tell the other person, say, hey, ask my husband how we met, or ask my wife how we met.
Just don't tell them what you're telling them.
It's totally real, and it's a big. And you can also say, and have them talk about their honeymoon, or have them talk about their wedding day. And if they still talk with this joy and this gleam in their eye, bingo!
They've got it.
Bingo! Okay, third, now this is the one, this is the killer. The successful couples have mastered the art of the tough conversation. The number one thing I deal with day in and day out are couples that do not know how to talk about the serious issues. They just can't do it. Ever. I mean, I have so many couples that are dying, struggling, so frustrated with each other. I have a couple right now, it's the neatest story in the world, 84 years old. They came into me at 84. They don't want to die not knowing how to talk.
And they've been married, I'm assuming, for a
They've been
long
married
while.
60-something years, 65 years. Can you believe it?
Wow.
And they're learning it, and they're sitting down eye to eye, and they're now able to talk about it. For any couple out there that doesn't know how to do this, this is the #1 tool, because it's our conversations that create all the meaning of our life. So if our meaning's going ugly, it's probably because our conversations aren't working.
And where does that start? How do you know if your conversations are suffering?
Well, one way to know is, are you having them?
There's a volume.
Yeah.
that comes into
If you're
play.
not having these, you'll know, because we never can solve certain issues. If you have 10 issues that you are afraid that if they're ever brought out, it's fight time, or it's avoidance time. So if you avoid all these topics or fight about them, you're in trouble. The rule is these ideas are going to come out some way. They're going to come out pretty in a conversation or ugly in a fight. They're coming out. You got to deal with them. Okay? So that's the third one. The next one is they balance the couple with the crowd.
This one intrigued me because, again, you think of turning inward to strengthen your team, but there's a balance.
Well, there's a huge deal. Forever we've like, hey, you gotta cleave unto your partner and to no one else, right? So just get rid of your parents, get rid of your family, cleave unto your partner. Well, the research is showing the couples today, they're only cleaving unto each other. They're not connecting with family like they used to. They're not going to social outings or gatherings. They're less politically active. In almost every category, couples today are just only with themselves.
But wait, are you saying that's a bad thing? I mean, I would imagine my wife and I are strong, we're together,
powerful.
we rely on each other all the time, we have everything in common, and we're independent on
The danger is then everything we have, everything we need is from our partner. So we become so dependent on our partner meeting most of our needs that the society, that community, that family, that your wife's best friends used to meet some of those needs. Now you have to meet them all. You have to talk that much. You have to understand every mood. You have to understand the feminine need. All of these things that are virtually impossible for the man of the world.
That's why Matt's picked up glitter scrapbooking.
I love glitter scrapbooking. I got 2 glue guns for Father's Day next year.
So what's the key is balance, though, because this could swing obviously too far the other direction.
So the idea is you gotta be tight with your partner, love being with your partner, and I think you need friends, and you need social outings, you need to go to family, and you need to balance it. The best way to know is, are we complaining too much about one or the other? This is about, think about it, if a tsunami hit in Utah, we'd be in trouble. But if a tsunami hit, we'd need people. Do you have people in your life that you're close with that you could actually go to? Okay? Last but not least is, what is it? It's a really good one. This one made me cry.
Doing stuff together, right?
This is the one where we get into The Bachelor. Happy couples re-energize their marriage with 3 simple ideas: new, exciting, and together. Every date, if you watch on The Bachelor, tends to be new, exciting, and together. They're new things, they're fun things. Hey, we're going to fly you at a private jet to Las Vegas or wherever. Research shows that couples that do new and exciting things together, it creates a bunch of chemicals in their brain. Dopamine, adrenaline, neopinephrine, all these other drugs that make you feel attached and connected. It creates excitement. And then if you do them together with each other, your brain thinks, hey, this woman makes you feel all of these feelings, even though really it's the bungee jumping. But your brain doesn't know it, and we trick our brains, and it makes us actually feel this chemistry for each other again.
Interesting.
It's hot. So
they might not be falling in love with each other.
No, they're falling in love with a bungee jump. But you can't marry a bungee jump, can you? It's so fun. But it works.
Break out of your Friday night.
Make everything new. Now, go to a new date night with Matt Townsend. Do something exciting with Matt Townsend. No, I don't care what you do. Here's the coolest thing in the world.
Date night. Now you're doing this new thing, right?
Brand new announcement. So if you're a female and you're listening, which is probably a lot of you, Smart Life for Women. It's a brand new workshop. Every single Thursday, I take the topics we talk about here, and I go for an hour and a half in depth. It's just for women. We're going to talk about self-esteem, how to single-handedly improve your relationship, all by your lonesome. It's $15 for an hour and a half, so it's cheaper than your kid's music lesson.
And I imagine more fun.
10 times more fun. Go to MattTownsend.com to get information.
Every Thursday. Kicking it off today, right?
Thursday.
Okay, good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Matt.